Approaching inbound 2-car, Mission Bay, followed by Embarcadero in 2 minutes, Embarcadero in 4 minutes.
Music has a powerful might. It always finds a way to be heard. It's sad, though, there are so few venues in San Francisco for the music to play.
Ruby's voice rose above the music, coming from a trumpet in the underground railway station in San Francisco. The music reverberated through the train tunnels, and the acoustics were some of the best in town. It's true today that you can no longer find as much live music as you could in 1920. In that era, virtually every dining establishment in San Francisco had a 3-piece orchestra. Not to mention, you could go dancing every night at the Fairmont or the Sir Francis Drake Hotel.
I was the featured singer at the Techau Tavern in 1920. It was a high-class cafe where friends would come to listen to music and eat clubhouse sandwiches that were so magically delicious.
The original cabaret structure still stands, bearing the name of the Gold Dust Lounge. Surprisingly, it's still a place where you can listen to music. Ruby was a widow at 24 years old, left with a young son and no income after her first husband, a trumpet player with Art Hickman's band, died in Europe from one of the most virulent flu epidemics in 1918. The musicians who played the local cabarets had names like Art Hickman, Clyde Dewar, and Paul Whiteman. They were the favorites of that era. They would travel from city to city, Chicago, San Francisco, Seattle, and New York, playing cabarets, restaurants, and hotels that exploded with music like jazz. A constant stream of musicians would arrive in cities with new music styles and songs. Trains were their mode of transportation. One evening in 1920, John Davis, owner of Coffee Dan's restaurant in San Francisco, sat down at the Techau Tavern. He had taken the night off from his ham and egg joint and was looking forward to one of those famous clubhouse sandwiches and a drink before retiring at the St. Francis Hotel where he kept a room. While it was illegal to transport liquor in 1920, consuming it was not. And so John Davis pulled out a flask from his breast pocket and poured 2 fingers of whiskey into his glass. Ruby was performing and wandered about the room and stopped at Johnny's table, drawing attention to him just as he poured the liquid into his glass. She was smiling as she sang a verse from the song Bill. Bill was written by a young composer by the name of Jerome Kern, and it was a perfect vehicle for Ruby's voice. The melody and lyrics afforded her the opportunity to stress unaccented beats. John leaned back from the table and gazed fully into Ruby's dark brown eyes as she sang. And along came Bill, who's not the type at all. John Davis would never forget that night and made sure he found someone to introduce him to the mistress of lilting syncopation.
That song, Bill, won favor with men. Every man in the room thought I was singing the song for him. One night, a friend invited me to a kitchen party and card game. A married, older gentleman followed me from one room to the next that night. His name was Johnny.
At night, when the fog would settle upon the city and the foghorns sounded, friends who never thought John Davis had a serious intention towards the lady would spot his limousine parked behind the stage door. It was clear to his friends at that time that his interest in Ruby Adams was no mere flirtation.